Good evening, wrestling fans, and welcome to another edition of Wrestle Talk Show, the wrestling review, rumor, news, anything and everything wrestling. We cover it, and like we do with every show, we'd like to thank our YouTube, Facebook, and general following, just our audience, we can call it now. We officially have an audience. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Moving right into ratings. TNA Impact for November 4th, 2010 scored a 1.2. It's questioned to be the highest, highest rating even for TNA's actual debut. As you know, they have Turning Point tonight. Uh, I don't know. Nothing's really come out. I guess I can say now that October 25th, Jeff Hardy had that court appearance, and nothing was really. I was expecting some follow up to affect the pay per view, but either they know it, which would be the smart thing. They know it, and it's not going to affect until after Turning Point, or it's it's believed that Turning Point either could have been pre-recorded, might be pre-recorded. Who knows? Moving right in, reaction, because Impact the last 2 weeks has been pulling a Raw and bleeding past its scheduled time. You know, like Raw does. It's scheduled till 11 o'clock, but it sometimes goes till 5 after, 10 after. Well, that bleed over, that carryover, is affecting the ratings in a positive way for Reaction. Reaction scored a 0.84 on November 4th with 754,000 viewers. So it's getting a bit of a nudge in that regard. Friday Night SmackDown, WWE Friday Night SmackDown for November 5th scores a 2.62. It's announced that it's rumored that WWE, I guess, I don't want to call it fact because it was found on another website that wasn't the .com, but WWE is rumored to, so I'll say, is rumored to spend 600 grand a week just for Sci-Fi to air SmackDown. 2.62 is actually a little higher from what they want. Like I said in the very beginning, 5 weeks ago or whatever we're in, they were aiming for a 2.0, so it's nice to see a little adjustment there. Slow climb is alright. That means people are getting used to it, and it'll just nestle in like everything else. And it kind of, I don't want to see it. It probably won't go below a 2 point, a 1 point, whatever. But I don't know if we can count on consistent peaks. I see a couple of valleys just because SmackDown's never been the strong brand, and I don't think they ever plan on making it that way and rotating Edge every couple months. I don't know. That's what, they were shooting for that. That's why the trades were made. But does it ever really happen? Moving on, like I said in the last video cast, Linda McMahon loses the Senate race. Kind of seen that one coming, didn't we? Enough said. WWE continues its United Kingdom tour. Friday night, Golddust avoided major eye surgery after an eye injury at a house show on Friday night. He went to the emergency room Friday night, and it was what they thought was going to have to be surgery to his eye. He put on his Twitter page basically the next day or that night that he's ready to work, and it wasn't that serious. But people within the WWE, when it first happened, said it looked pretty bad. So good to hear that Golddust is gaining some consistent heat, and he's not hurt. So it won't be the typical scenario just yet, like I say, where work for WWE and then, oops, you get hurt. Oh well, Stone Cold Steve Austin, or Steve Austin as the wrestling community knows him now, considering he's been inactive for a while, addressed the guest host rumor that is exactly that. Quoting him, no one in the WWE has contacted me as of yet. It was rumored, a rumor was kind of put out there that he would guest host the last Raw of 2010. He kind of spoke a little candidly. Says that the PG rating now gets in the way, more or less gets in the way of the Stone Cold character, and he really enjoyed doing it, but more or less insinuates that there was a time and a place, and this is no longer the time or the place. Well, it's definitely the place, but it's just no longer the time. When asked about a possible return to in-ring ability, he's really not interested. I'm pretty much done, is what he's quoted as saying. MMA professional fighter Bobby Lashley is going to put off his next fight until 2011. He relaunched his personal website, Lashley Entertainment or LashleyPerformances.com or .net or something like that. He's quoted as saying he's going to take the time to physically and mentally prepare for the event you guys have been waiting to see, which for 2011. Friday Night SmackDown seen a couple of different positive things. One that I thought really stuck out is MVP gets another shot at the Intercontinental title. He won the number one contendership match Friday night, and he will face Dolph Ziggler at WWE's Survivor Series, again for the Intercontinental title. My only question with that is, will they actually have it be a match, or will it be 15 minutes of good wrestling and then it gets squashed by a Nexus agenda? Or they just kind of blow it up completely? I mean, read the earlier videos, you'll hear my complaint on that one. SmackDown stands up this week against an Otunga-headed Nexus while Wade Barrett is performing on the UK tour. Little bit of interesting news here. WWE's broadcast of NXT, the beginning of it, it was leaked. The fans got to hear Kevin Dunn kind of feeding dialogue to Michael Cole and Josh Matthews, so it's safe to assume that they're literally told what to say. There obviously is freestyle in it, as I like to put it, where you call the match in your own way, but they obviously have a way of producing a show that you don't normally get to hear, and this was the first time, I want to say one of the first times that you actually get to hear that literally some of the lines are said word for word, and then you hear the announcers obviously say it back. For more news on that, visit our site at WrestleTalkShow.webs.com or PWTorch.com. Both sites are consistent with their news and our sources. If we don't know, we tell you outright we don't know, and so do these guys, Wade Keller and all them over there at the Torch are a real nice group, so I'm sure that's another one that you guys will like to hear. That's available on iTunes as well. Friday night on the E! Channel, I don't know if anybody else caught this, but I believe it was the top 20 celebrity deaths, and the Chris Benoit murder-suicide was actually featured. And it was also E! Featured the details to look like like I said in the last video, the ghost of Chris Benoit. Wrestling created Chris Benoit. Companies like WWE created Chris Benoit. So when everything happened, why was everyone so shocked? Just wondering. And kind of for our segment tonight, in the last 5.5 minutes here, I want to hear your reaction. Are you looking forward to the Wade Barrett-Randy Orton title match at Survivor Series, where it's basically John Cena's got to screw Randy Orton because he wants out of the Nexus, but then you can say maybe they're going to bleed this Nexus thing till WrestleMania. So you don't know if this is going to be a conclusion, really. Uh, there'll be plenty of time to give them another out if they're not done with it yet. But I don't know. I'm kind of mixed because I didn't like Super Cena, but I don't like him in Nexus either. I think there's a happy medium. I do still like the character. Hustle, loyalty, respect is a great tagline. It carries well. He's carried it well. He went from the rapper to a major superstar, which I don't think anybody's seen coming, that it actually transitioned for him, and it worked out. But this is a real interesting storyline where they kind of have his livelihood on the line the whole time, and this is what I was saying, kind of in the quarterly video for WWE's third quarter, where these are the interesting stories that I'm talking about. These things where you want to see the next Raw. And going back to my rant on the brand split, if Raw carried into SmackDown, SmackDown carried into Raw, or, SmackDown, NXT, Raw, use them all, but use them efficiently. I don't know. You'd have 3 nights of quality wrestling entertainment where Raw's the leader, SmackDown's the runner-up, and Nexus isn't even on WWE's radar most of the time. Make these shows mean something. That's all I'm getting at. But I wanted to hear what you think will happen. If you want to leave posts on this video and we post the video directly underneath it, you can leave comments. I'll also put it up there on the forum. What do you think is the best option? Where do you see this match going? Do you see WWE freeing John Cena and John Cena going back to what he was doing? Or do you think it's going to carry out? And would you like it more if it carried out a little bit more? It seems the wrestling world is tuning in because of this storyline. This storyline actually holds your interest. So what is it about it? Do you want to see him freed, or... Oh, that's a dumb question. Do you want to see him... I mean, I just want to know what exactly... Get a feel for what exactly is making you turn on the TV in regards to this story. Not saying that every aspect of it isn't good, but what particular? Do you want to see him screw Randy Orton? Do you want to see him do it in such a way where Barrett wins, but Orton doesn't get screwed? Do you really see that happening? By the way, I don't think that would be good TV anyway. So we'll just get rid of that thought. But yeah, what do you, in general, let's just use, we're using the main event of what used to be an important pay-per-view. What's this say? They've been, other columnists and whatnot have been saying that the major pay-per-views aren't even what the major pay-per-views used to be. Outside of your Mania and your Royal Rumble, to see who goes to Mania, what exactly do they got going for them anymore? After dropping, changing, and mutilating pay-per-view names and creating themed pay-per-views, what has all of this gotten us? Actually, nothing. Like I said before, an additional 4 pay-per-views with no one to buy them, and no inclination to want to spend the $50 when you have a headlining MMA event and stuff like that all in the same weekend. Tomorrow I'll be here with a review of Turning Point for TNA. Until next time, visit us on WrestleTalkShow.webs.com. Send all fan mail, show-related mail to cwecompany@gmail.com. Give us a shout on Facebook or Twitter at cwecompany. And until next time, this is your host, Joshua Zimmerman, saying, for those of you who bought Turning Point, I hope you're not disappointed. I really do. And until next time, see you later. Have a great night.